Part 22. Fantasy, the Empress was reincarnated as my daughter. Author, Daughter Wrong. Chapter 215. So, the two of them came out of the room together and walked towards the outside of the Star Palace. Suchanga was meditating there when he suddenly noticed two people coming out. He thought they were going to do something big, so he immediately followed them. He didn't want anything to happen to his precious daughter. Although he had left a lot of protection on her, it was safer to follow her and take a look. However, Suchanga's idea was obviously wrong. Senior and Sulinger directly summoned a group of female disciples from the Star Palace, and then headed in one direction in Star City. Suchanga followed everyone to the place and found out that these little girls were here to eat snacks. Oh my gosh, they are really a bunch of foodies. Sure enough, women are still interested in food. Senior took Sulinger to buy some of the things he had just introduced to her sister Linger. Come and try the beef horn crisp I just told you. Sulinger picked up Senior and handed it to her. Put the crispy beef horn in her mouth. Wow, Sister Senior, you are right, it is indeed crispy and delicious, so delicious. A group of girls from Sien Chen Palace had a great time eating at the snack street ever since. Sulinger now fell in love with Star City and felt that she had come to the right place in the Malay realm. Suchanga looked at his precious daughter's eating face from the side, with a black line on her face. Is this really my daughter? Could this eating face be any cuter? The little sisters in the Star Palace are very friendly to Sulinger. As expected, foodies get along the best. As long as there is food, they can become biological sisters in minutes. While everyone was exchanging their eating experiences, Suchanga felt that there was murderous intent approaching. After a while, a group of people in brown clothes came to the girls in the Star Hall. There are both men and women among these people. Their brown clothes have the word underworld embroidered on their chests. The leader is a man with brown hair. Yo, isn't this Senior from the Sien Chen Palace? You Sien Chen Palace disciples only come here to eat? No wonder you are submissive during the battle. It turns out that you don't usually train. Kurong, if you can't speak, don't speak, so as not to let others know that your holy son of Huan Quan Palace is just a barking wild dog. Senior responded to him very rudely. Obviously, the relationship between Sien Chen Palace and Huan Quan Palace is not very good. Sulinger pulled Senior's sleeve. Sister Senior, who is this? This is Kurong, the holy son of Huan Quan Palace. Our Sien Chen Palace and Huan Quan Palace have never dealt with each other, so this guy always comes to harass us, but he doesn't dare to start a fight, he just wants to satisfy his cravings. Sulinger nodded and took out the snacks from her storage space. Sisters, these are the snacks Linger brought from outside. How do you like them? Everyone was just about to meet the people from Huan Quan Palace. When they saw the snacks in front of them, they immediately returned their thoughts to the food. Compared with the food, the people from Huan Quan Palace were really boring. Everyone picked up their souls. He started eating the snacks given by his son. Wow, Sister Linger, this thing is so delicious. Everyone has obviously forgotten about the people in Huan Quan Palace in front of them and started discussing by themselves. The holy son of Huan Quan over there did not arouse any reaction when he saw his words. Instead, the little girl's snacks attracted the attention of everyone in the Star Palace. The force attracted him. Kurong felt that he was almost mad to death. Every time he came to anger the disciples of the Star Hall, he could achieve good results. Although the two major forces could not fight each other, some verbal attacks could make the other party angry. Being miserable for a few days was also very successful. In the past, the disciples of the Star Palace always lost more and won less, because these girls were all kind-hearted people. Suchanga had specially calculated their lives, and none of these girls he is a bad person. However, this action was interrupted by a little girl. This was his first failure. Hey, When did you seen Chen Palace disciples become such useless people? You don't even dare to talk back now. Sister Singer, why do dogs bark when we are eating? Do you hear it? Oh, is it so? Let me hear it. No, Sienner, did you hear it? Singer looked at the girl in a purple dress next to her. No, Sister Singer, did you and Sister Linger hear it wrong? It's broad daylight, where did the dog bark? The girls were talking to each other, and they completely regarded the disciples of Huang Quan Palace as nothing. Kurong was angry and punched Singer's back directly, but his punch was 1 meter away from Singer and the others. He can no longer get close to the place. There is no way, who makes him just a small peak king. The main reason why he dare not take action against the disciples of the Star Palace is that he has not yet broken through to the Saint Realm. But Singer had already broken through to the Saint Realm. Today he took action, but he was too angry and couldn't hold it back. But the moment he took action, he regretted it a little, so his current posture made him very embarrassed. Fantasy, the Empress was reincarnated as my daughter. Author, Daughter Wrong. Chapter 216. He couldn't take his fist back. This was of course Sulinger's masterpiece. In terms of the skill of poisonous tongue, she completely crushed this Kurong. She had only shown a small part of it and made him lose his sense of proportion. Suchanga's daughter is an all-around genius. Regardless of her fighting ability or intelligence, she is far superior to ordinary people. Even though Sulinger was usually very well behaved, she was unambiguous when it came to causing trouble and could definitely make people die. When other disciples of Huang Quan Palace saw Kurong not moving for a long time, they felt something was wrong and immediately went to help Kurong. However, everyone tried their best to pull Kurong back, and he still maintained that posture. A disciple asked Singer loudly, "Did you decide to place Brother Ku here?" Because he knew that among all the people present, only Singer was in the Holy Realm, and he could beat everyone here with one hand. "Hey, why don't you slander me? We are eating here and our hands are full. Who would make such a joke with him?" Sulinger held the snacks in both hands and waved them in front of the disciple who was speaking. "I also want to say that it's his. If you want to fight, then fight, if not, then leave quickly, don't affect us eating here, okay? Look at how he looks now, tisk tisk, he's so handsome. Sisters, what do you think?" Yes, Lord Kurong's punches are so cool, and Lord Kurong's endurance is also great, he has lasted for such a long time. Sisters, you say something, and I say something, I am so unhappy. But these words are so harsh in Kurong's ears. He opened his mouth to make a sound, but Sulinger had already added a spell to him. Not only she can immobilize herself and silence her speech. This is a spell given to her by Suchanga. As long as the cultivation level is lower than hers, it can be 100% successful. Suchanga looked at Sulinger's evil smile and knew that Kurong was that kid. What a tragedy. Normally, Sulinger would want to use this to cause trouble at home, but the cultivation level of her family members were all higher than hers, so she had no choice but to hide her thoughts. Now she happened to encounter someone making trouble, then it's too much for Sulinger's liking. Although she is usually well behaved, she still has the potential of a little witch. Of course, Suchanga will not interfere with her behavior. This is her way of doing things. Now as a member of the Star Palace, they must help their classmates teach those who bully them a lesson. Sister Singer, are you embarrassed about why he stopped talking? Maybe he could just apologize to us. Sister Sienner, why do you think he is so stubborn? He just doesn't admit his mistakes. Sulinger discussed what Kurong wanted to say with the sisters in a rhetorical tone. They thought that Kurong was really embarrassed to speak. Singer knew that it was Sulinger who made the move. Although he could restrain Kurong's actions, he could only restrain him for a while. This was the first time she had met someone like Sulinger who was forbidden to say that she had a permanent relationship. Kurong over there had already been told by Sulinger that his eyes were blood red and he felt like he was suffocating to death. But Sulinger would not undo his immobilization technique. Since she was already a member of the Star Palace, she would protect these sisters from now on. Although they are not as powerful as their sister Su Qingxiu, they also take great care of themselves. It was the first time that Sulinger experienced this kind of intimate emotion from another person. In the past, she had only felt this kind of emotion from her father Suchanga, her sister Su Qingxiu and her mother Nangang Wen. Is this the sense of trust that Daddy talks about? It's really a good experience. Finally, Kurong was so angry that a mouthful of blood spurted out from his mouth, fell to the ground, and passed out. Sulinger finally released the restraint on him. Sister Xin, isn't he too fragile? He fainted like this. The disciples of Xin Chen Palace looked at Kurong in front of them, and they were a little unbelievable. This guy today I fainted after standing for a while. This is really the first time. Deserve it, the girls in the Star Palace all scolded him. Kurong and his sisters had long been unhappy with him, but the elders did not allow them to do anything, so they had to endure obediently. Although there are many female disciples in the Star Palace, his cultivation level is not weak. Many of them can beat Kurong, but they can't take action. The elders have set strict rules for them. They cannot expose themselves easily unless they reach the Holy Realm. Strength. At their age, they will be able to achieve the Holy Realm in a few years. Although they can defeat people like Kurong now, after their strength explodes, it will not be safe when they break through the Holy Realm. Other forces will try every means to wipe out these genius disciples. Of course, the 5 major forces here will do this kind of thing, but they, the Star Palace, do it less. There is no way, this is a melee domain. If you don't do this, the Star Palace will sooner or later be annexed. Maybe some disciples could not bear the environment here and left here, but the power will definitely continue to be passed down. This is the ancestral precept of the Star Palace. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, the Empress was reincarnated as my daughter. Author, Daughter Wrong. Chapter 217. Suchanga will not unify this place, because after truly unifying this place, it may be better on the surface. But in the long run, it will only cause greater turmoil, so it is better to maintain the status quo of the melee domain. The disciples of Huanquan Palace carried Kurong and left in dejection. Before leaving, they left harsh words and told Xin Chen Palace to wait. Everyone smiled and ignored them. How could their Huanquan Palace not say so? I didn't see what happened to them. They said they were harsh, but if they really started fighting, they would be the ones who ran the fastest. Even though the Xin Chen Palace is full of female disciples, they are usually gentle and cruel, but when it comes to fighting, the most gentle people turn into female madmen, so the other 4 forces usually don't dare to mess with the Xin Chen Palace. They gave the Star Palace a nickname, calling it the Crazy Alliance. There was nothing they could do about it. The women here fought too hard. From the elders to the disciples, there was no one who was not crazy. All the girls happily finished eating and went back. When they returned to the Star Hall, they met Mr. He and Mr. Bai. You all go back, Xin and Sulinger stay. After everyone said goodbye to each other, they went back to their residences. He Lao and Bai Lao took Xin and Sulinger to a large hall. I heard that you encountered people from Huanquan Palace to provoke you again today. Yes, Elder Xin answered honestly. Well, I'm really wronging you by not letting you fight back. When the palace master comes out of seclusion, we must go to Huanquan Palace to quarrel with them. But Elder, Kurong was so angry that he fainted today. What, fainted? Who did it? Elder, it was me who did it. I didn't expect that the holy son of Huanquan Palace was so small-minded. I just said a few words and fainted while catching my breath, and even vomited blood. Sulinger stuck out her tongue towards the black and white elders. Ha ha ha, good job, Linger girl. Elder, won't you punish me? Why do you praise me? What are you punishing for? You didn't make a mistake. Besides, you have done a good thing. We are both worried about how to get Singer and the others to retaliate against them in Huangquan Palace. It's okay now. With you here, we won't worry about them anymore. Girl Linger, if you meet this kind of person in the future, you will fight to death. The elders all support your behavior. No problem, hey Lao, Bai Lao, this kind of thing will be taken care of by me from now on. Suchanga looked at Sulinger taking care of her, and felt that he shouldn't let her come here. He didn't learn anything else, and his poisonous tongue skills were finally put to use. Sulinger was very happy. Unexpectedly, the entire Xin Chen Palace supported her in doing this. She was really happy. Daddy said that no one likes pranksters, but now Xin Chen Palace likes them very much. After Suchanga knew what Sulinger was thinking, I want to go to the Xin Chen Palace to beat up those two old men. Grandma, my perfect image in my daughter's heart has been destroyed by you. Sulinger happily followed Singer back to the room. Suchanga she stood in the yard with a look of helplessness. Hey, the child has grown up and is a little out of control. This experience has completely released her nature, and she will definitely be a little witch again in the future. Su Kingxiu is already crazy enough, but Sulinger will definitely not be crazy in the future, because she knows how to tease people, and Su Kingxiu disdains doing so. In the room, Singer was discussing with Sulinger, Sister Linger, how did you manage to imprison Kurong to what about the one who fainted? Although I am in the saint realm now, I cannot imprison him for such a long time, and I can also ban his speech. Is this unique to the Saint King realm? Sister Singer, this is not because of the realm, it's because of the spell. The general body holding technique is much worse than mine. That's because this body holding technique was given to me by my father. After hearing Linger's explanation, Singer felt relieved. It turned out to be Linger's father who taught her, so nothing is impossible. After all, Linger's father was at worst a great emperor realm existence. Hey, Sister Singer, don't be discouraged, I'll leave this spell to you. After that, Sulinger handed over the method of casting this spell to Singer. Singer was very shocked to receive the inheritance of this spell. Although this is a small body fixing spell, it can make people below everything in one's own realm is frozen. The most terrifying thing is that there is no need to worry about this spell being destroyed, because the spell carries a kind of coercion that ordinary people cannot break away from. This is of course Suchanga's masterpiece. His own pressure is added to the technique. As long as someone uses this body holding technique, Suchanga's pressure will also fall on that person. In this world, no one can break through Suchanga's pressure. After all, Suchanga has already transcended the Hedeo realm. Sister Linger, this spell is too precious. You'd better take it back. I can't have it. Singer returned the spell to Sulinger and thanked her for her kindness. Fantasy, the empress was reincarnated as my daughter. Author, Daughter Wrong. Chapter 218. Sister Singer, you are out of sight now. I gave it to you, just accept it. I will take you to see my sister later and we can learn some exercises from her. Under Sulinger's persuasion, Singer finally accepted the spell. Sister Linger, how awesome is your sister? My sister, how should I put it, is terrifyingly strong. My sister is only a few years older than me. Now she has gone to the Starry Sky Ancient Road. Wow, if you can participate in the Starry Sky Ancient Road, your sister will already be a quasi-emperor. Singer looked at Sulinger in shock. Well, he is indeed a quasi-emperor. Sulinger thought about it and decided to just think so. If Singer knew that her sister had ascended to the immortal world, wouldn't it be frightening to others? Hey, there is no other way. The only thing to blame is that Daddy Suchanga is too strong. I and my sister can't even think about being strong. Of course, my mother is also very strong, otherwise she wouldn't be able to give birth to a freak like Sister Kingxue. Sulinger slowly integrated into the Star Palace, and the Star Palace also knew that they were here again. A little freak appeared and stayed with Singer every day. He was already in the Saint King realm. However, no one here was jealous. On the contrary, they got along very well with Sulinger. Sulinger even often talked to her. They slept together. This was very difficult for Suchanga. Since coming to the Star Palace, Sulinger had never slept alone. This made it impossible for him to secretly visit her at night. Suchanga was distressed. Ah, go and see your precious daughter. That day, Sulinger did not sleep with Singer because she felt that she was about to break through, so she came to the training room alone. Suchanga had already felt Sulinger's breakthrough signs. He immediately protected the surroundings of the training room. He could not let his daughter become the target of public criticism, so it was better to hide it. As the last flame energy integrated into the body, a strong Taoist charm appeared on Sulinger's body. Daoyun soared into the sky and brought Sulinger into the air. Suchanga knew that the formation his daughter would break through must be very large. Fortunately, he had taken protection in advance. Although Daoyun was powerful, but under the pressure of Suchanga's construction this space obediently attached itself to Sulinger. Under the nourishment of Daoyun, Sulinger quickly broke through the realm of the Saint King and stabilized the realm. After Daoyun disappeared, Suchanga also revoked the barrier. He found that Sulinger had grown a little taller after breaking through to the Saint King realm, but only a few centimeters, but this could not be hidden from his eyes. Suchanga guessed that when Sulinger broke through to the Great Emperor realm, maybe she will grow into a girl. Of course, this will happen later, we will know later. After Sulinger broke through, she returned to Singer's room. Sister Linger, have you made a breakthrough? Singer vaguely felt that the pressure Sulinger brought to her was getting stronger. This was not the pressure of the Saint King. Oops, Sister Singer, you discovered that I have just broken through to the Saint King realm. Sister Linger, your cultivation is really too fast. It's good that I can cultivate from the beginning to the peak of the Saint realm in 1 year. How can I be like you? Breaking through the realm is like drinking water. Singer smiled bitterly. Sister Singer, don't be discouraged. Your talent is still very strong and you will be able to break through to the Holy King realm soon. By the way, I still have some of this stuff here, take it. Sulinger gave Singer the elixir she found in the ruins last time. Originally, she was planning to use these elixirs to break through, but she didn't expect that the opportunity of the flame world would allow her to break through directly. These elixirs are now only available. It has no effect. It is of no great use to my current Saint King realm. Sister Linger, these things of yours are all elixirs for breakthrough. You should keep them for yourself. Sister Singer, I am already at the Saint King realm. These elixirs will not help me break through to the great Saint realm. I'll give them to you. You must break through to the Saint King realm as soon as possible. Underscore. By the way, Sister Singer, I still have some elixirs here, please share them with those sisters. Sulinger took out some elixirs that could allow the Peak King to break through to the Holy Realm. This made Singer more curious about her background, but she didn't ask any more questions. Sulinger felt that these sisters, they are all very good, so I hope they can break through the realm quickly. Singer also told her that soon, the 5 major forces will hold a large-scale event, and then the future of their star palace will depend on them. Although he has Sulinger, other disciples must become stronger. Sulinger did not expect that her current actions may be rewarded in the future. In the future of the ancient road of the starry sky, it was having so many sisters that made her famous, and she also led these sisters to shine on the ancient road of the starry sky. Fantasy, The empress was reincarnated as my daughter. Author, daughter wrong wrong. Chapter 219. Of course, that will happen in the future, and Sulinger will definitely not know it now. Suchanga was very pleased to see Sulinger. Perhaps it was her simplicity and kindness that could shape her future. Sulinger didn't know, but Suchanga knew. He had already given up on Sulinger's future. This may be because stupid people are lucky. Singer distributed the elixir given by Sulinger to the sisters in Sin Chen Hall. Everyone was very happy and immediately went to retreat. The entire Star Palace seemed to be in a state of emergency preparation. Sulinger was a little confused and went to find Mr. Bai to understand the situation. Bai Lao looked at Sulinger standing in front of him and rubbed his eyes. "Girl Linger, have you made a breakthrough?" "Yes, Bai Lao." Mr. Bai is no longer too shocked. Anyway, Sulinger is just a little freak. Anything can happen to her. Linger, let me tell you in detail about this event in 1 month's time. Okay, Mr. Bai, I'm listening. This event was actually held jointly by the 5 major forces, with the purpose of competing for the resources of the entire Malay domain. When the 5 major forces were first established, in order to allocate resources reasonably, they handed over this issue to the younger generation. The major forces send out younger generations to compete, and allocate the resources of the entire Malay domain according to ranking, which is the city in the Malay domain. Mr. Bai, doesn't each force in the Malay domain have 3 cities? Haha, that's just what was announced to the outside world. At the most, a force can be assigned the management rights of 5 cities, and at the least, it can only keep the city where the base camp is located. Of course, it is not that the city changes hands directly, but that all the income of the city belongs to the other party, which is what is called tribute in the mortal world. Therefore, all the major forces are very motivated for every 5-sex competition, and their disciples are also very concerned about this competition. Bai Lao, is there any great reward in this 5-sect competition? Sulinger suddenly became interested. Well, there are indeed rewards, but they don't seem to be of much help to you because you are already in the Saint King realm. Lao Bai shook his head helplessly. Ah, so cruel. If I had known earlier, I wouldn't have broken through so quickly. Linger girl, I do know a place that is also helpful to the Saint King realm, but I don't know if I can go in. Yeah? Mr. Bai, please tell me where it is. There is a secret place in the world called Elf Island. According to legend, it is a training ground left by the elves in ancient times. The spiritual power inside is slightly different from the spiritual power outside, which can help people quickly improve their strength. The spiritual power inside contains the energy of living beings, which is a rare treasure for cultivators. Ah, then wouldn't it mean that the disciples of the Tiandihui are very strong? That's not the case. This secret realm is only effective in the Saint King realm. Low-level disciples will only be exploded by the spiritual energy inside, but it will not have the desired effect. How can I go in? The question you are asking now touches on the key point. If you want to enter, there is only one way, and that is to win the championship in this 5-sect competition. Bai Lao, this is simple. The championship must be mine. Will there be anyone else who is higher than me? Girl Linger, if only it was as you said, I wouldn't have to worry about this. Mr. Bai, is there any other problem with this? Yes, this championship requires a team championship. If that's the case, Singer can beat them all by himself. Even you don't need to be dispatched. Our Sin Chen Palace can easily win the championship title. Now let me tell you about the strength of our Star Palace. You may be disappointed after hearing this, but I can't hide it from you. Over the years, our Star Palace has had its glory days and trough periods. For a time, the Star Palace was the leader of the 5 major forces, occupying the resources of 5 cities. But that was only in the past. Now the Star Palace controls 3 cities on the surface, but in fact there are only 2 cities left with resources. Although Sun City is controlled by us, the resources have been taken away by the Heaven and Earth Society. The strongest one now is the Tiandihui, which controls 5 cities, followed by Kenya, who controls the resources of 4 cities. The remaining Beast King Pavilion and Huangquan Palace are the same as our Star Palace, only having the resources of 2 cities. The Beast King Pavilion is a group of reckless and brainless people, but their fighting power is indeed strong, but the competition between the major forces is not so fair, so their disciples are often attacked for no reason, but there is no evidence, it can only be let it go. You have also seen the rest of Huangquan Palace. They are a group of insidious villains. If there were not regulations between the major forces that the resources of 2 cities must be left behind, they would have been disbanded long ago. The remaining Kenya is a killer organization. Their disciples kill decisively. Many times, some disciples surrender because they are afraid of losing their lives. Of course, their strength is not weak. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, the Empress was reincarnated as my daughter. Author, Daughter Wrong. Chapter 220. Although Arsene Chen Palace disciples are not weak, it is still a bit difficult to win in a team battle. And on the surface, only Arsene Chen Palace has disciples from the Holy Realm, but do other forces really not have them? Bai Lao, after hearing what you said, I found that it is difficult to win a championship. It is indeed a bit difficult, and there is another uncertain issue, that is, I don't know where exactly this year's 5 competitions will be held, and in what form. Mr. Bai, won't you be notified in advance of this? In order to prevent some forces from playing dirty tricks, the 5 major competitions announced the format of the competition on the day of the competition, and the leaders of the 5 major forces discussed it in person, so the people below would not get the news at all. Unless the masters of the 5 major forces take the initiative to explain to the people below, I don't think they will do so. After a conversation with Mr. Bai, Sulinger understood the details of the 5-sex competition, and then went back to practice. Sulinger took out his inspiration and sent a message to Suchanga. Dad, what are you doing? Have you missed Linger? With a ding-ding, Suchanga's inspiration rang. He ended his meditation and saw the message from Sulinger, so he immediately replied. Oops, good daughter, Daddy missed you so much, but in order not to disturb your experience, he resisted and didn't visit you. Don't you blame Daddy? Haha, stinky Daddy, don't worry, how could Linger blame you? By the way, how are you doing in the Malay realm? Have you encountered any difficulties? Has anyone bullied you? If anyone dares to bully you, Daddy will skin him right now. Dad, didn't you say you would let me practice on my own? Why are you more anxious than me? Linger, don't I miss you? You're not at home. Daddy is almost bored to death by himself. Really, isn't your mother accompanying you? Or are you giving birth to a younger brother or younger sister? Suchanga outside saw these words and wanted to rush in and beat Sulinger. This kid is really everyone's joke. Of course, how can he dare to go back now? He won't be killed if he goes back. Finally found an excuse and slipped out. Linger, how can you talk like this? I guess you little girl must have something to tell me. Tell me quickly. Daddy, you are a bad person. Have you peeked at me again? Moreover, I am sleeping with Sister Singer now. Tell me honestly, did you peek at me? My conscience, Xiao Linger, you are looking down on your father's character. There are so many women of your father and I who want to pursue me, but I haven't done anything. Really? If you dare to say panic, I will tell my mother that you peeked at Sister Singer. My baby, Daddy is wrong. Daddy is begging you for mercy. Daddy really has never spied on you. If you have anything to say, just tell me. Daddy promises you, okay. At this time, Suchanga wanted to hit someone. He couldn't figure out where Ling-er learned this from. He and Nangongwen had never dealt with this before. If Su Kingxiu were here, I would definitely laugh. She had a stomachache. She gave it to Ling-er just to avenge herself for being bullied by Suchanga when she was a child. However, Su Ling-er was simply better than what she had learned, and she had learned more than what Su Kingxiu had taught her. Yes, it's all about talent, but it's Suchanga who suffers. Dad, I have my eye on a secret place. I want to go, but it's a bit difficult. Should you give me some help? You little girl, you promised your mother that you would rely on your own efforts, but now you have my ideas in mind. So what can you do? Daddy, who made you so strong? Suchanga took a breath. Is being strong a sin? What happened to this world? The strong can no longer survive. Complaining is complaining. We still need to help with our daughter's affairs. Suchanga counted with his fingers. Hey, if you have the chance, just do it like this. It won't break the rules of the game. Okay, Ling-er, Daddy has done it for you, but you still need to work hard on your own. Daddy, you won't fool me. So Ling-er looked at Ling-ji and didn't see Suchanga helping her. Hey, Ling-er, Daddy will keep it a secret from you for the time being, and at the same time, he also wants to test your ability. You will know Daddy's arrangement on the day of the 5-sex competition. You have to practice a lot with the disciples of the Star Hall these days. Otherwise, don't say that Daddy didn't help you when the time comes. Okay, Stinky Daddy, then I will believe what you say. If you dare to lie to me, I will go back and ask my mother to avenge me. So Ling-er put away her idea and prepared to go find Bai Lao again. Since her father said it's no problem, then it's no problem. She's going to find a place to hone her fighting will. Girl Ling-er, why are you here again? Aren't you going to practice? Is there something wrong with cultivation? Fantasy, the empress was reincarnated as my daughter. Author, Daughter Wrong. Chapter 221. Bai Lao, I came here to ask you if there is a place in our star palace where we can practice fighting. I want to try it. Oh, you said this, then you have come to the right place. Do you know why those girls are so crazy when fighting? It is because they are all trained in the star battlefield. Come with me. Lao Bai took Su Ling-er to a deserted place in the star palace. Su Ling-er looked around and found nothing special here. Ling-er girl, stop looking. This is the biggest secret of the star palace. You can't tell it by looking at it. Throw your identity token over. Lao Bai pointed to the open space in front of him, and Su Ling-er took out the identity jade token and threw it over. However, the identity jade token did not fall to the ground, but stayed in the air. Then pieces of bright light burst out, and a light door appeared in front of Su Ling-er. Although the light door appeared, it was closed. Girl Ling-er, put your hand on the light door. Su Ling-er followed Bai Lao's instructions and put her hand on the light door. After a while, a voice rang in her ears, identity confirmed, Star Hall Su Ling-er, permission to enter. Then the door of the light door opened, and there was darkness behind it. You can't see what's inside here. Girl Ling-er, behind this is the battlefield of stars. If you are ready, go in. After entering, you will understand the rules there. Su Ling-er nodded to Mr. Bai, put away her identity jade badge, and walked in. When she appeared again, Su Ling-er was already in a starry sky. Looking at the stars in the sky, Su Ling-er felt like this extremely beautiful. Welcome to the star battlefield. I am the guardian here, Xianyo. Next, I will introduce to you the rules here. The monument in front of you is called the star ranking, which records the time and difficulty of each challenger. The higher the ranking, the more rewards you will get. The trial challenges here are divided into 3 difficulties, each difficulty is a corresponding list. When you start the trial, you will get a jade slip. Crushing it means that you are ending the challenge. I will teleport you back here. You can get familiar with the environment here first. To start, just call me. That's it. By the way, the battle scenes here are random. The opponents you may encounter may be in human form or in the form of monsters, so you must be prepared. Sulinger looked at the star list. The first one in easy difficulty is Siener, her record is 36 days, next is Siener, 30 days, next is Chu Tian, 28 days, normal. The first in difficulty is Wushuan, which lasts 40 days, the first in difficulty is Star Saint, which lasts for 60 days. Sulinger didn't look at the other names, and didn't bother to look at them, because these people are no longer disciples. Okay, these are all the genius disciples from the last period. When the disciples reach the level of great sage, they can leave the Star Palace to explore on their own. The Star Palace will not restrict your freedom. As long as you come back to help when the Star Palace is in trouble, just one handful will do. The easy difficulty test is for disciples at the Saint King realm. The Saint King realm and Saint King realm correspond to the normal difficulty, and the Great Saint realm corresponds to the hard difficulty. Every disciple will come here after breaking through the Great Saint realm. Conducting a trial, this is the last trial before they leave the Star Palace, and it will also leave some legends for the Star Palace to inspire future disciples. After Sulinger became familiar with the environment here, she shouted into the space, Xiaonyo, come out, I'm going to start the trial. Okay challenger, please choose your challenge difficulty. Ordinary. With a buzz, Sulinger disappeared into the space, and when she reappeared, she was already on a stage. Challenger, this is the first day. Today's challenge is in the ring. As long as you knock the challenger out of the ring, you will win. In the following time, the competition venue will continue to expand and the requirements will increase. The challenge or you have to be prepared. Next, challengers are asked to choose their own weapons. The use of external weapons is prohibited in this space, and only weapons provided in the space can be used. Sulinger looked at the weapon rack in front of her and didn't know what weapon to choose. After hesitating for a while, she chose a sword because her sister Su Qingxiu's weapon was a sword. After choosing the weapon, Sulinger came when they arrived at the ring. A light and shadow appeared on the opposite side of the ring, and then condensed into a giant tiger. Obviously, Sulinger's first opponent was a monster. Suchanga was watching Sulinger's training from the side. Although here it's the secret of the Star Palace, but how can he be included in this place? He knows everything here as soon as he comes in. As long as he takes action, he can control this place immediately. But he won't do that, he just comes in to see. He saw what kind of experience his daughter was going through when she came in, but he resisted and did not take action. He now understood why the girls in the Star Palace were so crazy when fighting. Fantasy, the Empress was reincarnated as my daughter. Author, Daughter Wrong. Chapter 222. Just like Bai Lao said, when they enter the star battlefield, they can't even think about going crazy. The environment here will make you fight crazy. Although it's crazy, it won't cause you too much harm. If you can't hold on anymore, you can quit. Moreover, the protection measures here are also quite complete. You will be sent out at any time according to your physical condition. Suchanga saw through this at a glance, and of course he could also see the scene Sulinger would face next. If the weapons he gave could be used here, Sulinger would still have a good chance of winning, but relying solely on the weapons here, it would be difficult for Sulinger to persist for too long. After all, her combat experience was too weak. To put it bluntly, she is a weakling with almost zero combat experience, and she will definitely suffer when fighting with others, because her spiritual power control ability is not very high. Through this formation, Suchanga saw many shortcomings of Sulinger. He really didn't pay attention to it before. In the past, he only focused on Sulinger's state of mind. Now that he thinks about it, he seems to have ignored her reality. H. Su Kingxiu is the reincarnated empress, so there is no need for Suchanga to consider this aspect, but Sulinger is different. She had been with Suchanga since she was born. She had never experienced any battle at all and had no combat experience at all. She had protected her daughter very well. Suchanga thought for a while, he seemed to be overly doting on his children, and his title as the guardian girl seemed so ridiculous. He was relieved, and the knot in his heart was gone. In the past, he always felt that his daughter should always be loved, but now it seems that he was so ridiculous before. If one day something happens to me and I fail to reach my daughter in time, wouldn't I regret it for the rest of my life? Suchanga was not thinking about those things. He turned his attention back to his daughter. He wanted to watch her grow up. After all, this world was not the peaceful and prosperous world he lived in before. The rules here are still fists. Big fists are the last word, so there is no fairness at all. Sulinger looked at the giant tiger in front of her and raised her spiritual energy. In fact, this was her first battle, and the guy she met when she first came out didn't count at all. At that time, there was a barbecue knife given by Dad, and that person couldn't hurt her at all. But that's not possible now. We can't use the weapons Dad gave us here, we have to rely on ourselves. The giant tiger looked at the little girl in front of him and immediately pounced on him. He was a puppet created in the star battlefield. He didn't care who was in front of him. As long as there was something in front of him, he would attack desperately. Sulinger looked at the giant tiger approaching from the shop, tapped her feet on the ground, dodged its attack, and poured spiritual power into her long sword to attack the giant tiger's head. However, the giant tiger twisted around and hit the giant tiger with the long sword, leaving only a white mark. The giant tiger did not suffer much damage. Bai Lao said that all opponents in the star battlefield are condensed from the power of the stars, so they will not bleed, but will only become more and more illusory until they finally disappear. Sulinger's blow just now obviously did not cause any damage to the giant tiger. Also, because the attack power was not very strong, it did not consume a lot of the giant tiger's strength. One person and one tiger quickly became involved in a scuffle, and Sulinger quickly adapted to the fighting here. Although she was scratched several times by the giant tiger's claws, she was still blocked by her clothes. After all, she was covered in clothes specially made for her by Suchanga to protect her safety. Suchanga watched Sulinger's fight from the side. He was not worried about Sulinger being injured. He was only worried about whether Sulinger would seriously fight the giant tiger. After all, he had taught the little girl many tricks. What made him happy was that Sulinger didn't do that and was relying on her own strength to fight the giant tiger. He watched Sulinger go from being attacked by the giant tiger everywhere at the beginning, to now being able to completely control his own spiritual power, making his attacks flawless. This is indeed a great improvement. This little girl's talent is still very good, but she just lacks enough training. The battle between Sulinger and the giant tiger gradually came to an end. She did not blast the giant tiger out of the ring, but used the giant tiger to continuously hone her moves and improve her own weaknesses. She now understands what it feels like to fight, and also understands why the sisters in the Star Palace fight so crazily, because this is called fighting, and only then can they show off their own momentum. After the two exchanged a move again, the giant tiger's figure was almost transparent. After this move, it completely disappeared. Sulinger sat on the ground, panting. Oops, I'm so tired. I didn't expect fighting to be so tiring. It seems that I have strengthened my training. I am still far behind Sister Kingxiu. In terms of combat, my current combat experience is far from senior. If it doesn't work, I will continue to work hard. After Sulinger rested for a while, she got up from the ground and prepared to start the second battle. A day in this space is counted according to the number of battlefields. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, the Empress was reincarnated as my daughter. Author, Daughter Wrong. Chapter 223. 5 battles meant that he had been in this space for a day, so Sulinger still had 4 battles before he could survive the day. There is a resting platform next to the ring, and Sulinger is still resting at this time. This is a resting place specially designed for challengers. After a while, Sulinger recovered her spiritual power and stepped onto the ring again. This time what appeared in the ring was a humanoid warrior wearing armor, holding a spear in one hand and a shield in the other. Sulinger looked at the armored warrior in front of her and felt that this was a powerful enemy. Suchanga looked at the armored warriors who appeared on the side and knew that Sulinger's battle with the giant tiger would be more difficult than the previous one, but after defeating it, there would definitely be a lot of gains. Sulinger used her body skills to attack the armored warrior, but the armored warrior did not dodge. When Sulinger's sword reached in front of him, the shield instantly blocked the attack. This method of warfare is to remain immobile in response to all changes, also called absolute defense. Sulinger kept changing the direction of her attack, but was easily blocked by the armored warriors. The armored warriors could even counter-attack continuously at times. After the battle, Sulinger was panting from exhaustion, while the armored warrior did not move at the same place, and the consumption was not very obvious. Sulinger stood on one side of the ring and found that after she stopped, the armored warrior did not step forward to continue attacking her. She somewhat understood the meaning of this battle, which was to hone her defense and resilience. After slowing down for a while, Sulinger came to the opposite side of the armored warrior again. This time she did not move and started to fight with the armored warrior. She drew her sword, and the armored warrior blocked it with her shield. The armored warrior attacked with a spear, and she drew her sword to block it. At first, Sulinger could only hold on for a few moves before the armored warrior broke through her defense. Moreover, the armored warrior was so strong that her sword was almost knocked out of her hand. Sulinger held onto the sword in her hand and fought with the armored warrior. When she got tired, she stepped back and took a rest. After all, she had plenty of time. She also knew that this thing could not be rushed and she needed to understand it slowly, so she did not waste the energy of the armored warrior in a hurry. All the gatekeepers here are made of energy. As long as they consume their energy, they can successfully pass the level. But Sulinger didn't do that. She came here to exercise her fighting power, not to break through. Suchanga was very relieved. In fact, he was still very distressed. He wanted to help her several times, but he still held back and later turned away. Although it had no effect, it was still better than nothing. He knows that his daughter is suffering, and as a father, he also wants his daughter to do nothing and live a carefree life, but that is harming the child and does not help the child's future development. Sulinger gradually adapted to fighting the armored warriors, and now she was able to find loopholes to attack the armored warriors while defending. Sulinger is a piece of jade. As a father, Suchanga is reluctant to let her get hurt at all. This is harmful to the jade but not beneficial. Only raw jade that has been carved with a carving knife can shine with more splendid brilliance. Melee domain is this carving knife, which will make Sulinger shine with her own brilliance. The star battlefield is just the beginning for Sulinger, but it is also a very important opening. She needs to accumulate her combat experience here, and she wants to lead the Star Palace to win the championship of the 5 sect competitions. Time passed slowly, and Sulinger's battle with the armored warrior became more and more exciting. Now Sulinger can easily resist the armored warrior's attack, and can also use the sword at will. The seemingly easy attack was actually launched by Sulinger after long calculation. She learned a lot from the armored warriors, which also increased her own combat experience. After another round of attacks, Sulinger blocked all the armored warrior's attacks, but the armored warrior was now a little unable to defend against her attacks. Her sword sometimes struck on the armored warrior's shoulder, sometimes on his back. Coupled with her own body skills, the armored warrior now had no ability to stop her. After Sulinger struck with all his strength, the armored warrior was knocked back a few steps, and then he was completely at a disadvantage. A quarter of an hour later, the armored warrior disappeared. Sulinger showed a bright smile on the spot. She felt that her attacks began to become more organized, and her control of power became very sophisticated. There would no longer be the confusion of having her weapon thrown away. She returned to the resting table, thinking about the battle just now. She still had a lot to think about. Suchanga watched Sulinger's progress. From being in a hurry at the beginning to being calm later on, he saw his precious daughter getting stronger step by step. He was very happy from the bottom of his heart. Although Linger was not as powerful as King Xue, he believed that Linger would soon be able to catch up with King Xue. Speaking of King Xue, he looked at the little girl who was still practicing on the iceberg. He really didn't know what was wrong with this girl, so she found such a high place to practice. Fantasy, the Empress was reincarnated as my daughter. Author, Daughter Wrong. Chapter 224. But it doesn't matter. Suchanga has already checked around. It's very safe here and no accidents will happen. She turned her mind away from King Xue and continued to pay attention to Linger's battle. At this time, Sulinger was already in her third battle. This battle was a test of her speed. What appeared opposite her was a leopard-like monster. The leopard monster copied here is different from the one seen outside, because its characteristics are like a combination of many leopard monsters. Anyway, the feeling it gives Suchanga is just one word: fast. The things copied from the star battlefield should be the ultimate. Xiang Sulinger is now in the Saint King realm, so everything copied is the ultimate in the Saint King realm. Strength, speed, defense, etc. Suchanga found that the star battlefield was really wonderful, and he wanted to study it and set up such a formation. This can be said to be a very good training ground for people without combat experience. If Suchanga arranges it, it will be useful not only for people below the Great Sage realm. Sulinger has already started working with this sub-monster began to compete in speed. The movement technique Suchanga taught her was very advanced, but usually no one encouraged her, and no one could keep up with her speed. Therefore, I have never been able to fully understand the principles of this movement technique. Now that I have this monster, Sulinger feels that my understanding of the movement technique has begun to increase. This is a very good phenomenon. At the beginning, Sulinger was still a little embarrassed. Slowly, she began to keep up with the pace of the leopard monster. The leopard monster was also squeezing its own potential and pursuing faster speed. Both sides in the ring could only see after images. Sulinger could feel that her body skills would soon break through to the next small realm recorded in the skills, and her speed increased again. The leopard monster is not to be outdone. Speed is its strong point. How can it lose to humans? Now the speed of both parties has already exceeded the limit of the Saint King realm, and they both want to become faster. The leopard monster was the first to make a move. It was ignited with blue flames. It was obvious that it had burned its own power. When the flames went out, it would disappear. Its speed immediately doubled, and Sulinger was immediately in danger. However, relying on the absolute defense he had learned, no matter how fast the leopard monster was, it could not break through Sulinger's defense. After Sulinger felt what the leopard monster was doing, blazing fire rose in her eyes, and she wanted to break through her current limits. She let go of her defense and began to compete with the leopard monster simply with speed, but the leopard monster burned its own strength to gain speed, which was indeed very fast. Sulinger was in trouble. A quarter of an hour later, the leopard monster disappeared. Sulinger also had claw marks all over her body, but they were only on her clothes and were slowly disappearing. Sulinger closed her eyes and felt the speed of the wind. Suddenly, her figure disappeared into the wind. Obviously, the duel with the leopard beast did not disappoint her, as her movement skills broke through. Now she can keep up with the speed of the wind. This is the movement technique Suchanga taught her. After a small success, she can match the speed of the wind. After a big success, she can achieve short-distance teleportation. Sulinger returned to the resting table and entered a state of cultivation. She felt that the spiritual power in her body began to grow. It was obvious that the fire power had not been completely absorbed, but some remained in her body. This battle allowed her to activate the fire energy that had not been completely refined, pushing her state to the intermediate level of the Saint King realm. After Sulinger exhaled a breath of turbid air, he took out the spiritual wine in the storage ring and took a sip, then burped and said, "It's great, keep fighting." Standing on the ring, Sulinger began the rest of the first day of 2 battles. The 4th battle tested Sulinger's comprehensive adaptability, which was to integrate the first 3 aspects of strength, defense, and speed. Sulinger was a little uncomfortable at first. But he quickly established his footing and took out the gatekeeper in the 4th game without much effort. Suchanga felt a little embarrassed when he saw Sulinger making such great progress. If he had known better, he would not be a doting girl. He is really not a qualified father. Just letting the children stay under their own protection and completely forgetting to teach them to be independent is a big mistake. If it doesn't work, remember it. Suchanga took out a small notebook and wrote down the words not to pamper the child too much and to teach him or her to be independent. If anyone saw Suchanga singing nearby, they would definitely laugh to death. The most powerful man in the 3 realms actually wrote a small guide on raising children. He is really a talent. Suchanga didn't care. This was experience. He might have more children in the future. After all, he owed a lot of romantic debts. While Suchanga was recording the strategies for raising a baby, Sulinger had already started her 5th battle.